This kind of has to do with, traumas. And I guess that feels obvious in saying, but I think it's important to spell it out. Your reaction to a trauma, or your habitualized patterns of thought and reaction, it might be, negative self-talk, it could be a myriad of things, but whatever it is, understand. And I find it helpful to actually write this down. When I was 6 years old, and this is not me, but this is a lot of people's triggers. When I was 6 years old, I saw my mother ask my father about, making rent that month. And my father got really inflamed and angry, threw his plate on the ground and it shattered. And he yelled really loudly and he walked out. So after that experience, I made a coded law that I will never bring up money to anyone that I love, so that my caretakers will not lose their shit and risk me dying because my caretaker is no longer there with me, okay? Like, can you see how a child would think it through this way? I mean, it's terrifying, right? This child's provider has just been triggered himself over something that is not at all within the child's control or even influence. And he has abandoned that family, at least for a while. And the child has no idea when he's coming back or if he's coming back. The child is kind of like my dog whenever I go to work. Like, she goes apeshit. She thinks that I'm leaving her forever because I think our rescue dog has some issues. Like, she gets triggered by this, Unfortunately, I can't recode my dog's triggers and subconscious, but you can as a human being. So map that out. What was the traumatic experience that did that? Why did you come up with that old outdated coding in your brain? What was the coding and why did you come up with it? You'll probably find that it was very reasonable for you to come up with that coding. And again, meet that with compassion. And in realizing that, you will automatically let go of the trigger. Okay? I hope that makes sense, genuinely. Because if you let go of the trigger, now people can talk about money and making rent, your weight, or what you ate, or whatever it is, and you are safe around that discussion. You will not need to overreact to be safe. In fact, your overreaction is the only thing that might be less safe. So if you meet that with love and compassion and understanding, and if you're humble about it and you expose the trigger to your partner or whoever it is that, is in this environment that is triggering you, then you can humbly say, hey, listen, I have found a trigger and I'm happy about that because that means I'm spending a lot of energy and mindset and peace of mind on stuff that doesn't matter anymore. And once I figure this out, once I dig deep, you have to dig deep or you're not going to root it out. But once I root this shit out and write down what the new coding should be, you can replace that coding with anytime someone brings up money, I will know that I am safe, that I can safely provide for myself, and that my life is not at any risk. And I can comfortably talk about that money because I am an adult, And you can repeat that as a mantra and recode it into your subconscious. And then whenever anyone brings up money, your alarm bells don't ring.